I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie yesterday, and I absolutely loved it. Like, it was jam-packed with Easter eggs and nostalgia. Of course, it did not have the most in-depth story, but that wasn't really the point of the movie. It was really a love letter to the Mario IP and a love letter to the fans. It was absolutely insane, pointing out all the Easter eggs, pointing out just everything. And in terms of like the actual movie, the animation, I think at least, is actually really good. And in the trailer, they only showed us a little bit of Chris Pratt's voice, which was a teeny bit worrying because a lot of people thought he doesn't sound that good. But after seeing the whole movie, Chris Pratt, I think, actually did a really good job. And I think almost everybody on there did a really good job with their voice acting. I'm not like as hype as I was yesterday, but after getting out of that theater, trust me, I could go on and on about how much I loved that movie. I was like, let's go, man. And I still feel the same way though. Like, honestly, it was such a blast watching that movie. It's not a serious movie. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to just sit down and relive the games, in a sense. Though there's not much plot, like quote-unquote plot to work with, I actually thought it was cool that they kind of put in the Odyssey storyline a little bit with Bowser wanting to marry Peach out in Hawaii. I thought that was really cool. That's just my nerd talking. Critics are not amused. In fact, pull it up on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics decided to give it a rotten 53, but the audience gave it a 96. You can see a pretty drastic difference. And the problem is, critics do not get the demographic of certain movies, which is why they give certain movies where the audience who likes that certain franchise or that certain type of movie will absolutely love, but the critics don't get it. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying that, like, they can't have an opinion, but it's just kind of dumb to me that, and the main thing that's upsetting to me is they have obviously never played a Mario game. In fact, let's go on the Cesspools Twitter for only a few split seconds, right? But it says, totally inaccessible for non-fans of the Super Mario game for Nintendo. That's kind of the point, though. The movie was for Nintendo fans, and that's completely obvious. It was not for people who do not know the Mario IP. It was for specifically people who have played the Mario games and are Mario and Nintendo fans in general. It was made for them. If you don't know anything about Mario, no, you're not going to get the movie, but honestly, that's fine. There's a lot of movies that are for specific people who like specific franchises, and that's completely okay. She does not seem to really like that idea. Fans might even have a hard time with the non-existent, antiquated, and somewhat offensive. And when I watched the Mario Bros. Movie in theaters, it was truly offensive. Shocking misfire for Illumination. Hottest take in history, the only bad movie they've ever made. I will say one thing, knowing Illumination, I'm really glad they didn't put like a bunch of fart jokes and like stuff in there. There were a lot of pop culture references, especially with like the like songs they put in, which were kind of misplaced. I felt like that's one thing. But the actual soundtrack for this movie, oh my gosh, I freaking love the soundtrack for this movie. The original Mario games, their soundtracks are so good. And I think they did an amazing job putting it in the movie. It was really cool. In fact, Grace Randolph, and I'm not trying to only trash on her, there's a lot of critics who did this, but she said, I didn't even know what the Mushroom Kingdom was.
It's supposed to be an origin story where Mario and Luigi do discover the Mushroom Kingdom for the very first time. I didn't even know it was called the Mushroom Kingdom. I had to look it up. It's not even made clear in the movie.
Yeah, this movie is definitely not for you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, consider liking, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.